What is up, everyone? This is your man on fire mentor, David Mailer, and I want to wish each and every one of you happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Good for you. It is a time for family, it is a time for celebration. It is a time for love. It's a time for coming together as community. So to all of my fellow followers and brothers out there, happy, happy, happy holidays and happy almost New Year. And it's a big year coming up, 2023. And the question I have for you guys is, what are your New Year's resolutions? And today's topic, for those of you that don't know, are why New Year's resolutions are BS, bullshit. Let me just see before I fully dive into the fire with today's topic that some of you guys are out there following me. I'm going to wait until I see a comment. I don't see any comments yet. And as soon as I do, I'm going to dive right into the center. There we go. Christopher, good to see you, brother. Happy holidays to you as well, man. Totally appreciate it. It's been a long... Oh, look at all those fire signs. Oh, my God. Who sent that? I'm guessing it's Sean. Let me take a look. I bet you it's Sean. Yes. Wow. That's got to be a record for how many fire signs have been thrown my way. Thank you, Brother Sean, who's in our inner chamber. Those are for guys who have come to one of our 4-day immersions and then decided to take a leap, a deep dive into growing themselves as men into our inner chamber, which is a year-long journey with our brothers. And to those of you that might be new to Man on Fire, welcome. My name is David Mailer. I am the Man on Fire mentor. And I have been given the privilege and honor of coaching men now for about 9 years and working with both men and women for over 25 years in the healing and transformational space, but specifically for the past 9 years, really working with men, helping them have more passion, fully live into their power, and live a life of deep meaning and deep purpose. And I feel and I believe in my heart that all men truly want the same thing. We want to take our last breath one day knowing that we gave everything that we had. We loved, we served, we gave with every ounce of our being, and that rather than our last breath being one of regret, that we have the joy and we have the privilege of that breath being one of freedom and one of fulfillment. And it's a yucky, it's a frustrating, it's a shitty feeling knowing that we're built for more, that we have this beautiful potential. And when we know that we're not fully living into it, when we know that we're selling ourselves short, we're selling our family short, we're selling the world and humanity short of the real version of us, the truth is it's supposed to hurt. And many of us do that. And this is not to go on a shame and on a guilt trip right now, but this is to just help you guys understand that it's not for the, it's a low percentage of men, maybe 1%, that will take this lifetime and seize it. Seize the day, seize the moment, seize the years where you look back on life and you say, wow, I can't believe that I had the courage to grow myself and to live into all that God made me to be. I mean, a lot of us have a good life, we have a comfortable life, but there are a percentage of men that know deep down that they're here to do some serious work on this planet. It's not about just getting rid of your problems. It's about really having the courage to live into the fullness of who you were born to be, and to not waste this life, to not waste this precious commodity called oxygen and called life, and to just find that inner drive, that fire to want to bring the real you to this world. And naturally, if you're living into the fullness of who you were made to be, you'll have healthy, thriving, beautiful, intimate relationships. You'll be kicking ass in your career and in your finances, and you'll have more passion. You'll be living in your power, confronting everything you need to confront in your life that you've been afraid of. You'll go from your head to your heart, and you'll be living a life that's on purpose, deep meaning, like your life mattered. You impacted and affected so many people's lives. That's why we're all here as men. Can I get an amen for that? An amen. Amen. So, what is today's topic? Today's topic is why New Year's resolutions are bullshit. Well, the first question I have for you guys, if you're really being honest, and you could put this in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. In the meantime, smash up the like key. Bam! Throw some fire signs. Bam! Throw a curveball. Throw a slider. Not to worry, I'll hit it. Change up. That could be a problem. But why are New Year's resolutions bullshit? Well, if you look at a lot of the resolutions that you've made last year, year before, the year before that, year before that, year before that, if you guys are being honest with yourselves, you'll probably admit, yep, didn't do it. Yep, never fulfilled it. Never reached my goals. And, why is that? The question is, why is that? So, for those of you that have been following me, you've likely heard me talk about this day of the week that a man will make up. Now, as I see it and as I understand it and as I've been taught, we were brought up to know that the days of the week include Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's Sunday. Sunday. That's 7 days. There are 7 days in the week. But somehow, men have made up an 8th day. And the 8th day that a man has made up is called Someday, Someday, Someday. And it's an imaginary day that we make up where we lie to ourselves. And I'm not saying that we do it intentionally. I actually believe that when a guy says, I'm going to, come New Year's, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start working out 5 days a week. I'm going to start eating healthy. I believe that he believes himself when he's saying it. But the reality is he's not going to do it. And that's because he has fallen into the trap of the someday. Yes, Gerald Weller. Thank you. One of the guys in our inner chamber. The dreaded someday syndrome. So what is that? It's where we don't want to take responsibility for the changes that we can incorporate into our lives today, as in now. And we future project, convincing ourselves in the moment that I will get to it someday. So I'll start that diet on Monday. I'm going to start eating healthy on Monday. I'm going to start doing this after my birthday. I'm going to start doing this once it's New Year's. And next year, you'll see, I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to work out. I'm going to start crushing it in business. I'm going to start that new company that I've always wanted to start. And you guys have put all of these things into this tight little day called Someday, where you've convinced yourself that you're actually going to do it. And the reality is you're not. So, I'll give you a great example. My younger brother, Steven, who very well may be watching this live, I remember about 2 months ago, I was texting with him, and he says, I'm really committed now to getting in shape. And I said, great. When are you going to get on the treadmill? And he said, I'm going to start tomorrow. I said, okay, well then you're not committed. He's like, what do you mean? I'm starting tomorrow. I'm like, well, if you were committed, you would go right now. He's like, I'm starting tomorrow. What's the difference? I'm like, well, the difference is tomorrow's going to roll around and you're going to have 50 things that come up as to why you didn't get to it tomorrow. I go, if you're really committed, stop texting me right now and get your ass downstairs. By the way, in his building is a gym. I said, get on the treadmill and take a picture on the treadmill so that I know the distance that how many steps you've walked. And then I'll know that you've begun your commitment. I go, because if you future projected, if you put it off to tomorrow, if you put it off to Monday, if you put it off to your birthday, if you put it off to after the holidays, if you put it off to New Year's, the truth is you're not ready. You're not committed. It's just empty words. It's just empty words. You're just lying to yourself in that moment. You believe yourself in that moment, but the reality is you're lying to yourself because you don't want to deal with the emotions that are associated with the fact that you're not doing it. And you got to get with that rage. You got to get with that frustration. You got to get with the energy of, oh my God, I got to start now. There is no tomorrow, right? This is what Apollo told Rocky when he was training him. Oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get it. And Apollo screaming in his face, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow, Rock. Meaning there's only now. There's only this moment. I'll take out the trash later. I'll fix that light bulb later. I'll clean up the yard later. It's like, why do we constantly put stuff off? And if you guys want to have a different life, then recognize that in the Man on Fire world, when you're looking at a watch, the time is always now. Hey, what time is it now? I've been to Fiji many times, and you ask somebody what time it is, they laugh at you. They say it's either daytime or nighttime. They don't keep track of time. In the Man on Fire world, the time is now, which means you handle it now. When are you going to have that conversation with your wife, the cleanup conversation? Now. When are you going to reach out to your daughter that you haven't spoken to for 3 years? Now, right? Because they'll always make up a day and they won't do it. Just like you're not going to do your New Year's resolutions. You've just future projected and you're lying to yourself. And it feels good in the moment because you've laid out all these things that you're going to do. But here's the truth. You're putting it off because you're not ready. Truth number one. Truth number two, you don't have a plan. And you have all heard the expression, if you fail to plan, then your plan will fail. If you don't have a plan, how are you going to accomplish these resolutions? So you're writing down all these things. I'm going to get in shape, and I'm going to make more money, and I'm going to start that business, and I'm going to start living on purpose, and I'm going to fix my marriage. I'm going to win her back. And you have all these things you're saying you're going to do. Okay, my question for you is how? How are you going to do that? That's right. Crickets. Because you don't have a plan. Now, for those of you that do, by the way, that are listening, that are, screw you, David, good for you if you have a plan, right? So what do I mean? Let me give you an example. And I taught a 7-hour workshop on this last year, Traction 2022. I taught it last December. Why? Because why wait till January 1st? Why wait till January 2nd? Now, everybody's in the gym that, on January 1st, and then by January 15th or February 1st, it's crickets. There's nobody there. So we had the seminar last December. Why? Because we want to have momentum going into the new year. You don't want to wait to the new year, because if you're waiting to the new year, what that tells me is you're still in the syndrome of the someday, that you're going to get to it eventually. I'll get to it after New Year's, and you're not going to do it. You're just not ready. You're not committed. There's not enough emotional leverage for you to make the changes, coupled with you don't have a plan. So how could you succeed? Because you don't even have a plan. So, for example, if somebody says, "Well, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to lose a lot of weight, and I'm going to get in shape." Great. What's your plan? What's your plan? You don't have a plan. Well, if you said, "Well, I'm going to work out 6 days a week, and I'm going to go at 6 a.m. every day, and on 3 of those days I'm going to do cardio, and on 3 of those days I'm going to do weight training, and I'm going to hire a trainer, and here's the meals that I'm going to eat each day and every day." Okay, now we're starting to formulate some sort of a plan. But to just say you're going to lose weight, how much weight? By when? What's your body fat? What do you want to get it down to? Because if you can't quantify it, if you can't measure it, I can assure you that it's not happening. So we throw out of our mouths, I'm gonna, here's my New Year's resolutions, this is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna, and you won't do it, because you are victim to the someday syndrome. You also fall victim to the sentence of death, which I teach, which is once I, then I'll, once I get in shape, then I'll do X, Y, Z, then I'll start dating. Or once the kids are old enough and move out, then I'll get separated and divorced. And you fall into this death sentence of something has to happen first in order for you to take action. Again, it's no different than the someday syndrome. It's like you're just creating another reason, another way, another excuse, another justification, another story as to why you don't have to start when? Now. As Gerald Weller types into the chat, now. There's only now. There is no tomorrow. Come on, watch Rocky. I forget which one it was, 2 or 3. Put it there for those of you that know when Apollo's yelling at, I think it was 3, right? Because if Apollo's training Rocky, it couldn't have been Rocky 2 because he's still fighting Apollo. So it had to be 3. It was either 3 or 4. Let's say 3. He's yelling at him, there is no tomorrow, Rock. Stop putting this off. It's right now. So for those of you that have New Year's resolutions, Well, start now then. Well, I'm going to start going to the gym in the New Year's. I can't go now. It's the holidays. I have all these cookies that my family brought over, and I have all this food that's still in the refrigerator, and I have to eat it. No, you don't. You have to decide if you're really committed to living into the resolutions that you're just throwing out there, but you're not backing it up emotionally, and you're not serious about your commitments. So here's a writer downer for you guys. A commitment is doing what you said you were going to do long after the mood and the energetic state you were in has left you. A commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the mood and the energetic state that you were in has left you. Right? How many of you have said, starting tomorrow morning, I'm going to the gym. I'm setting my alarm clock for 5 a.m. and I'm hitting the gym. And maybe 95% of you listening right now would say, yep, the alarm went off. The pirates were in my head. They said hit snooze. Next thing you know, I hit snooze 4 times. I convinced myself that I'll go after work. And then, of course, I had to put out fires at work. And my wife needed me. The kids needed me. And then next thing you know, I'll just start the next day. And that's what happens. Because when you said that you're going to go to the gym starting tomorrow, you were in the right energy state. You were in the right mood. You meant it. You were probably watching Rocky. Drop to the floor and you start doing push-ups, put on the theme song. Yes, I'm doing it. I'm starting tomorrow. And you meant it in that moment. But what you failed to realize is that as soon as that energy leaves you, as soon as you're in a different mood, a lower energy state, you'll bail on your commitment. So, what's a great solution, right? Because guys always want to know, well, what's the solution? How do I fix this problem, David? Okay, you've identified what the problem is. I bail on my word. I'm out of integrity with myself. I lack commitment. I don't keep my word. And as soon as I drop energy and the pirates take over, and next thing you know, I'm sabotaging my life. Next thing you know, I'm on the Ferris wheel going nowhere, or the merry-go-round just going up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. I'm the hamster on the wheel. It's Groundhog Day all over again. All of a sudden, I keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over again, and I never honor my commitments, and I'm not making these changes, and next year is going to look like the year before it because I'm not changing. So what the hell do I do? Well, I'll tell you guys what to do. I've been telling you what to do for 9 straight years now. Unless you are Goggins or Jocko or Navy SEAL, because with just about every human being, your motivation and your drive will eventually leave you. Unless you're one of those guys, which is, 0.001% of the population, where you have this unbelievable internal motivation where you don't need anything outside of you to motivate you in life. And God bless guys that can be that way. Unless you're one of those guys, here's your solution. Join a part of an organization, a group of men that will hold you accountable to doing what you say you're going to do. Join a group of men that will hold you to a higher standard than you're holding yourself. Join a group of men that won't tolerate your bullshit, meaning the bullshit that you say to yourself and then the bullshit that you're saying to other people, because you're not honoring your word. You're out of integrity with yourself. Therefore, you're out of integrity with other people. Join a group of men that will support you, that will challenge you, that will stretch you, that will help you get way beyond your comfort zone, because that's where growth begins, at the end of your comfort zone. And join a group of men that will hold you accountable to the life that you truly know you were born to live. Now, Man on Fire absolutely is one of those groups. We have an unbelievable brotherhood. I don't mean the guys that are coming on and watching my free Facebook Lives and YouTubes and Instagrams and LinkedIn and all these different social platforms. I'm talking about the men that have come through our program by coming to one of our live events and then joined our inner chamber. These guys are holding each other to the fire. These guys are forming a support structure where they hold each other, challenge each other, and won't tolerate one another's bullshit. There is love, there is fierceness, there is tenacity, and what we've formed in our community is soulships rather than friendships. A soulship is, I'm not interested in being your friend. I'm going to hold you accountable to who you are, your true potential. That's the core of Man on Fire. is holding another man accountable to the life that he was destined to live and not letting him shrink, contract, hide, or play small. There are other organizations out there throughout the world that are doing the same thing. I can only speak to Man on Fire because I'm the one that started it. I'm the owner of it. I'm the one that's overseeing everything that's transpiring. I'm the one that's responsible for the optimization, where we're 9 years in now. So we're constantly improving and enhancing our systems and giving you guys better tools and strategies to succeed. I'm the one that can speak to all of the testimonials and all of the success stories. So I can't be accountable to the other groups that are out there, although I do know several men that are phenomenal leaders that are out there. So thank God I'm not the only person doing this. But if you're sitting there saying that you're going to join your church group and you guys are going to twiddle your thumbs, or your synagogue group and twiddle your thumbs and bitch about your problems, you're in the wrong group. Get into a group where you won't be comfortable. Get into a group where you feel small. Be the goldfish that jumps into the bigger tank and get into the ocean and learn to swim with the sharks, because that's where you will grow. Not where you get to talk about your problems, where you actually get to get down on the battlefield, get your hands dirty, roll up your sleeves, and do the work. Right? It's a saying that has stuck with me. I remember maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, listening to Garrett White. He was speaking at one of my friend's seminars, and he just kept saying, do the work. And I totally understand what the guy means now. It's like your life will not change unless you do the work. The problem is most men won't do the work. And secondly, most men don't have support and challenge and accountability where they'll actually get it done. Most guys will bail on themselves. So this boils down to, are you truly ready to live into those New Year's resolutions? You're writing them down. You're saying what you want. But are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to get uncomfortable? Are you willing to be supported? Are you willing to be challenged? Are you willing to be held to the fire and held accountable to who you really are? And don't just like nonchalantly say, yeah, that's me. Like, I can't tell you how many guys in this chat will say, yeah, sign me up, I'm ready. And I say, ready is for the guy that's ready to invest in himself. Monetarily, time, energy, blood, sweat, tears. Oh, well, I didn't realize it was going to cost money. Like, that's why your life's not changing, because you're not investing in yourself. So, I could sit here with total integrity and ask a man to invest in himself, invest in one of our programs, because I have invested over $1 million in my own personal growth. I know what it takes to change. I know what it takes to transform. I know what it's like to hire coaches and leaders to up-level me and hold me to the fire and hold me accountable to the next level of what's possible in my life. And I'm not shy about it, and I'm willing always to invest in myself and be stretched way beyond my comfort zone. So when I'm asking a guy to invest in himself, it's not about investing in Man on Fire, and it doesn't even have to be Man on Fire. It's about investing in you, your future, your growth. Oh, well, why can't I just read this in a book? Why can't I just watch this stuff on videos? Well, go ahead and do it and see if your life is changing. Because here I sit as a 55-year-old man. I've learned a few things in life. And what I've learned is that if you don't have support, challenge, and accountability, most likely you're not changing your life. Or said differently, you're not changing it to the degree to which you know is possible. You might have a good life, but that's one of the great addictions that we have in life, guys. A life of complacency. How are things? Good, fair, okay, average, bland, unique. That's called bullshit. None of us were put on this earth to have a good life or an okay life. Sadly, most men just have problems. Their whole life is about problems. That's the other addiction. We have this crazy addiction of having drama and problems in our life. Then some of us graduate that, and then we fall into the anesthetized coma of having a life of complacency. Everything is good. Everything's okay. That's horrible. I mean, who was born for that? So most of you have forgotten who you truly are and what's possible and what you're capable of. So why would you join an organization like Man on Fire or another men's group? It's to be held responsible and accountable to living an extraordinary and a phenomenal life. That's why. So why are most New Year's resolutions bullshit? It's because you're using it as an excuse to future project of you're going to do something down the road that you could be starting today. So for anyone that's already written out their New Year's resolutions, if you haven't started, you're not doing it. You've just bought yourself another week through the holidays or 2 weeks where you could party more, Well, let me draw. I couldn't possibly imagine going to the family party or the Christmas party, without drinking. Well, you're not ready then. You're simply not ready. So be honest with yourself. Why your New Year's resolutions will fail is you're not ready. You're not committed. You're not willing to do the work. You're not ready to be visible enough to be held accountable, to be held to the fire of who you are. If you are, great. You got a really good chance of living into your New Year's resolutions if you have a support group that will hold you accountable, that will challenge you, and that will support you, where that list is in your face. Hey, these are the things you said you were going to do. Let's get to it. Let's come up with a plan. It's another thing that I teach you guys, that most men, when you ask them what they want, it's like a deer in the headlights. Most men don't have a plan for their life. They don't have a vision for their life. Most men's vision is just getting rid of their problems. That's not a vision. Vision is you have complete clarity on where your life is headed in every domain of your life. Your finances, your health, your career, your marriage, your relationships, your mission and your purpose. You're crystal clear on where you're headed. And all of it is measurable, quantifiable. Most men don't have that. So why do guys join Man on Fire? They want this. They're tired. They're tired of wasting the most precious commodity in life, which is called time. They're tired of their own bullshit. They're tired of being stuck. They're tired of selling themselves short. They're tired of selling their family short. They're tired of living beneath and below the contract of who they were born to be. This is why men join our program. Some join because they want more passion. Some join because they want to have more power, authentic power. Most join because they want to get the hell out of their head and drop down into their heart, start feeling again, stop being robotic, so analytical. And many join because they know that they're built for more, and they know that their career is one thing, but they know that they have a deeper purpose, and that they're not fully living into their mission, why they were born, why are they here. That's painful for a man. What are we here to just pay bills? I did it. I sent my kids to college. I paid my bills. I kept a roof over our head. Job well done. Okay, that is job well done. But is that why you're here? To just get by? I believe that each of you has a deeper purpose, and few of you will have the courage to live into it. We all have equal opportunity. We've all been given unique gifts that God has bestowed upon us. The question is, will you have the courage to accept those gifts and live into them? Man on Fire will hold you to it. We will pull out of you, who are you and why are you truly here? And we will hold you to the fire of living into that life. So for those of you that are ready for something like that, for those of you that want to start investing in yourself, investing in your growth, and yes, we have programs where it's a financial investment, right? I've done workshops for $47, $97. We have coaching programs that begin at $2,000 into the six figures. So we have paid for programs. If you're somebody that's truly not ready to make a financial investment in yourself, maybe it would be financially reckless. You could barely be able to pay your bills. Okay, then continue to follow as much of the free content that I put out there. And when you're in a different position, when you've grown from some of the things that I'm teaching, and you start to turn your finances around, great. And get involved in a program where you could have more eyes on you, more hands on you, where we could hold you accountable. Because naturally, as you progress through the different coaching programs that we have, the higher up you go in the program in terms of what the investment is, naturally you're going to have more support. So, because we get a lot of comments, oh, you guys are just about the money. I filled out an application and they didn't approve me because I don't have the money. No. We don't approve people when they don't take the time to fill out the application and give it the heartfelt energy that it deserves. And we also don't approve applications where it would be financially reckless for a man to invest in himself. So please don't be upset with us when your application gets denied. It's crystal clear that we get hundreds of applications per week, and we're looking for the men that want and are ready and are willing to invest in themselves financially, energetically, and time-wise. And if that's you, then just simply let us know. And if you're not ready for that, it's perfectly okay. When you are ready, we'll be here for you. But if you're not, continue to follow all the live content, the free content that I put out there. And please, don't share with us that you think we're all about the money. You don't know anything about who I am and the blood, sweat, and tears that I and my coaches put in, and the countless hours that we're on the phone with men, that even men outside of the community, talking men off the ledge, men that have wanted to take their life or about to lose their wife. Like, blood, sweat, and tears go into this organization. And I don't mean to try to defend myself. I'm just calling forward some of the guys out there that want to be in the victimhood and tell us, who we are, and we're just about the money. Like, it couldn't be further from the truth. So why don't you just do what you're doing for free then, David? Well, I am. I've been doing it for over 5 years. I've been coming on Facebook for free, giving you guys some of my best material, helping you out. And I get messages all the time from men thanking me, telling me that it turned their life around. So why is it that some want to complain and bitch about the money? You tell me. That's your game. That's the game that you play with yourself. You find it easier to be the victim and to blame and point the finger outward rather than looking inward. So we're here for everyone. And yes, for those that are ready to make a financial investment in themselves, we absolutely have coaching programs that can support you at the next level of your evolution. So for the guys that are ready to kick ass in 2023, you want more support, you want more challenge, you want to be held accountable, you want to be held to the fire of who you really are, let us know. Put it in the comments. We'll have someone from our team reach out to you. He'll ask you some qualifying questions, or he'll send you to the application. And should you get approved, awesome. You'll have an amazing, amazing conversation with one of our senior coaches. And if it turns out that you're the right fit for our community and you feel that we're the right fit for you, awesome. I look forward to seeing you in one of our coaching programs. All right, guys, I wish you the happiest of holidays. I wish you a tremendously joyous new year filled with health and triumph and victory and intimacy in your relationships, and further movement from your head down into your beautiful hearts, and for you to have the courage to give the gift of who you really are to this world, and to come home to the remembrance that you are enough, you're worthy, you're lovable, you're capable. I know this, and my wish for you is for you to remember how amazing you truly are. All right, guys, it's with so much love and so much gratitude for spending this entire year with you on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all the other social platforms that are out there. It is your man on fire mentor, David Mailer. Here's to you rising with passion, power, and purpose. If you haven't already, smash up that like key, throw us some more fire signs, and put into the comments what has been your greatest takeaway from today. And for those of you brothers that have been with Man on Fire for at least a year, let the new guys know that this is legit, that I'm real, that the brotherhood is real. Let them know how much love there is for our fellow brothers, and that we are an organization that is in it for the right reasons, that we truly care about our fellow brothers, and we are here to help men rise with more passion, power, and purpose, to live more fully in their hearts, to be the guardians, the gatekeepers, and the protector of the feminine heart, and to step into the leadership role that each one of us has been blessed with, so that we can give our gifts to humanity by consciously choosing to evolve and grow ourselves. And as we have birthed into a higher level of consciousness, we feel more responsible now to wanting to give more of our gifts out to humanity. So much love, guys. It's your Man on Fire mentor, David Mailer. I love you guys.